everyone, welcome back to my channel, Hasty Books. I'm Camilla and today I'm in Hay-on-Wye. This is the world's first book town. It's located in Wales. It's actually just across the border from England. And yeah, we've come to spend a few hours. You know, we drove all the way from Cheltenham and it's really nice to be here to celebrate books. I think there's over 20 bookshops here. Probably won't have time for all of them as we're only spending a few hours, but it's really exciting and I'll take you on a little tour. So we're back in Scotland. We had a fantastic trip. It was so good. Oh my gosh. I'm very pleased. There was 2 weeks we spent in Wales and England, and we saw friends and family, and it was wonderful. I didn't take as much time to kind of vlog, you know, I did a little bit walkthrough to Hay-on-Wye, which was really fun. But as you can see, I bought quite a few books. That wasn't only in Hay-on-Wye, that also included visiting Keswick in the Lake District. Love that town, so pretty. We were also really lucky with the weather. And then on the way back up from England, kind of halfway up, so we stopped for lunch, was Sedbergh. I think it's Sedbergh. It's a town in the Yorkshire Dales and it is officially England's book town. So we stopped by and I bought more books as well there. And so I visited 2 book towns during this trip. It was really fun. I took a few wee videos as well of Sedbergh, so I'll add them at the end. But I thought, you know, I could show you a bit of book haul that I've done. Majority were secondhand books, but I bought a couple of new books, and most of them I bought actually with a national book token gift card that I got, I want to say from work like 3 years ago or something like that, or anyway, like deep pandemic, maybe 2020. Anyway, so yeah, but I was really pleased. It was really fun. Oh my goodness, Hay-on-Wye. Yeah, there was over 20 bookshops. It was a bit busy when we were there because not after the book festival probably, but it was clearly market day. For Wednesday afternoon, it was just bizarrely full. So we walked about, we had lunch, we visited the free, it's called the Honesty Bookshop or bookshelves at the castle. And then we went through a couple of bookshops and it was really fun. It was a lot of kind of labyrinthine, you know, like you walk in and then it's like a room after a room of books. It's really fun. We'd visited Wigtown quite a few years ago. I want to say 2017 maybe. maybe 16. But that was really nice. It was really far away. It's in the south of Scotland, and it's not near the motorway as you come up from England, so it's kind of a long way out, but it's really worth visiting. I told my best friend that whenever she comes back to visit me, we'll definitely go there though. Hay-on-Wye is a bit closer. We were staying in Cheltenham, and it took about 2 hours. Actually, it was a bit harder to get there than we expected because the roads were really small, but you know, we made it. And so I only bought 4 books, and so it's the smallest pile. Should I start with Hay-on-Wye? Yes, let's start with Hay-on-Wye. So these are the 4 books I bought in Hay-on-Wye. So the first one I bought was actually just, I don't remember which bookshop, but it was just, they had a classics secondhand section. So I bought North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. This was one of my favorite novels from 2021. It was my first time reading Gaskell, and I absolutely love North and South, and not in a way that I expected after watching the series. So I really enjoyed it. I think this was only my second kind of Victorian novel, so it's going well, and I look forward to Gaskell, like her other work, but I couldn't find anything, but it's okay. Then I also bought, wait, is that correct? Did I buy it? Yeah, I bought White Nights by Anne Cleeves. This was a sort of new, it's bizarre because they had new books, but they were cheaper than, so I don't really know how it works, but anyway. So this is the second one, I believe, in the Shetland series. So I read the first book last year. I ended up giving away, I should have bought the first one. I ended up giving the first one away to a friend who was moving out of Scotland, so I thought, take a little bit of Scotland with you, I guess. But this is the second one. I had been struggling to get the books at the library and stuff like that, so I decided to just buy it. So yes, very excited about that. Then I bought 2 new books. So I went into, I don't know if you'll be able to see. Can't really tell. But it's Richard Booth's Bookshop. It was Richard Booth's idea to create a town full of books. He's actually the originator of the book town, like in the world. And Hay-on-Wye was the world's first book town, and it's all thanks to Richard Booth. And he's actually, his face, like I think he has a bust at the castle, and he's called the King of Hay. And also, yeah, this bookshop. So I went in there. It was really nice bookshop. And yeah, so it was really nice. I got 2 new books. So I got Happy Stories, mostly by Norman Erickson Pasaribu from Indonesia. So this was longlisted, not shortlisted, but longlisted for the International Booker Prize this year. And it was one of the ones that I was like, oh, I'll read it. I sounded so excited, and I had wished I would be shortlisted, but it wasn't. Anyway, I bought it. It's also Pride right now. June was the Pride month. And this is basically like a queer, it's queering a lot of like typical scenarios of books. So I'm very excited to read it. Yes, I'm really clean. And the second one I bought was Before the Coffee Gets Cold 2, Tales from the Cafe by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. And I had seen, and I don't remember, but I feel like I had seen on someone's booktube channel that they had a second one. I don't remember who said it to me or where I read it, but I was like, oh my god, there's a second one. I absolutely loved the first one. So when I saw this, I knew I had to buy it, and I'm very excited for it. And I'm very excited for it to sit next to the other one, which is blue, on my bookshelf. So yeah, these were the 4 books I bought from Hay-on-Wye. We didn't spend that much time. I feel like Hay-on-Wye, there was a lot of secondhand bookshops, and I think you have to spend a lot of time wondering about. So you have to spend a long time like browsing, and we were only there for a few hours. So I would go in and just look a little bit and then pick up some books that were really like getting my attention. And I also didn't want to buy loads of books just for the sake of it. I'm trying to be conscious of that. So yes. Next, actually, let's go to Keswick because I feel like it's a good way. So Keswick is a town in the Lake District. It is so quaint and lovely. It's only like 2.5 hours maybe from Scotland, or where we live in Scotland. So we stopped there for lunch, and then we walked about, and boom, we came upon this bookshop, and I was like, ooh, let me stop here for a second. And they had, basically it was 4 books for a tenner, so I was like, oh yeah, definitely. So I bought 5 books. And I'll let you know why I bought 5 books. So I bought 4 for a tenner. So the first 2 that I bought were Blue Lightning and Red Bones by Anne Cleeves. And if you wonder why I bought White Nights, it's because they only had the 3rd and 4th book at that bookshop. I couldn't find the 2nd book. So I was like, oh, I'll leave it and I'm sure I'll find it at some point. I thought I'll find it on Hay-on-Wye, and I did. So that's why I got the 2nd, 3rd and 4th book in the series. I'm very excited to read them. And yeah, that'll be good. Then these other 2 books I bought were Chocolat by Joanne Harris. I obviously saw the movie, I want to say decades ago. I don't know when that was. But actually it says 20th anniversary, so probably decades. Yeah, it just sounded like a cool thing. I follow Joanne Harris on Twitter. I think she's really great, like, personality. I love what she's saying. I love what she stands for, so I thought I'd buy her book. And the 4th book was The Beekeeper of Aleppo by Christy Lefteri. I was trying to pick a 4th book, actually, I'm not gonna lie, and I just thought, I've heard really good things about this. I want to say I heard good things about this. I don't know, and I don't even know if the author is from, she said it is actually the child of Cypriot refugees. So yeah, I decided to buy it, you know, it's my 4th pick, and I look forward to reading it at some point. I don't know when, but one day, definitely. And the 5th book that I bought is just because they had a little pile of, like, discounted books that the proceeds would go to some refugee charity for, a charity for Ukrainian refugees. So yeah, and I looked through it, and actually I found this huge book called To the Finish Line, A World Champion Triathlete's Guide to Your Perfect Race by Chrissy Wellington. And it was only £3, so I thought I'll just buy it. I bought this because I have participated in triathlon before, and before you are all impressed with my athletic fitness abilities, it was a very short triathlon. It was like one of these mini ones. So it was a 400-meter swim, 10-kilometer cycle, and 3 or 4 kilometer run. So I think it's like a quarter triathlon, technically. And I've been wanting to do more, but I was a bit traumatized by the experience. But it's very exciting, and I would love to get back into that at some point when I go back to, like, the pool and all of that. And also, I don't think I've gone on a bicycle since that triathlon because it traumatized me. It was basically like mountain biking, and I ended up walking most of it because I was like, I can't do this. Anyway, it's a whole other video, really. But anyway, I thought it'd be great to have. I saw there was like some recipes, and even just for running, I think it's great to look at like what you're eating like before a race and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought it was really cool, so I got it. Yeah, anyway, we'll see if one day it actually becomes useful. That's another question. Alright, so those are the books I got in Keswick. And finally, the last pile, which is the largest pile, which was a total random trip that we did, was that I think it's because we were talking with my husband's parents about Hay-on-Wye being the book town of Wales and the first world book town. And when we said it's with them that we actually went to Wigtown, which is Scotland's book town. And then I was like, England must have a book town. So I googled it because I was like, sneaky, maybe we can fit it into our trip. And it turns out, yeah, it's halfway between my husband's parents' house and our house. So we drove there, had lunch, and then walked around a little bit. It was actually like I think it was a Monday afternoon, and it was just really chill. We just went to a pub for lunch, and then we walked around, and they're like quite like a few bookshop. They're all like on the main street basically, and they're like all next to each other. So I popped into four maybe or 5 bookshops, and it was really nice actually. And I thought that they were better organized than the one in Hay-on-Wye. I think it was really clear to see like contemporary paperbacks and, you know, crime thrillers and stuff like that. It was a bit clearer in that way. So yeah, so I bought 6 books, yes. So I went to one, and all their paperbacks were £1, so I decided I had £5, so I decided to just buy 5 books. And then went into the last one. I'll start with the last one. The last one, this I think is actually, is this? Yes, this is maybe secondhand, I'm not sure. But anyway. Oh, and I got a little bookmark from Sedbergh. Westwood Books is where I bought this book. And it is Freshwater by Kweke Emezi. And I had seen recently someone reading this, and I was quite keen to read it. I read Pet a few years ago, or maybe it was last year. God, time flies. So yeah, I just wanted to buy a book in that bookshop, so I bought this. And okay, the other 5. Oh, the women, God, the people who worked in that town as well was just so nice. All of the people in the bookshops were just so lovely, and I was often the only customer in there, so it was also like really chill in that way. The first one I got was The Binding by Bridget Collins. I read The Betrayals last year. I was really intrigued by it. Like, it's really kind of interesting storytelling and everything. I didn't love it, but I heard that The Binding was better. So I thought, I'll buy it. And that's funny because the woman at the bookshop was actually telling me about it. She's like, oh, I was really captivated, but I don't know how I felt about it. And I was like, oh my God, join BookTube. We can all talk about it. Then I bought The Lamplighters by Emma Stonex. I have literally no idea what this is about. I just keep seeing it, and it seems to be historical fiction. So it says Cornwall, 1972. Oh wait, we talked about this. This isn't technically historical fiction. Anyway, 3 keepers vanish from a remote lighthouse miles from the shore. The entrance door is locked from the inside. The clocks have stopped. The table is set for the meal left uneaten. What happened to those 3 men out of the tower? 20 years later, a writer approaches the women they left behind, determined to solve the puzzle. Oh, this sounds interesting. And I love the cover. Oh my goodness, I think it's so pretty. Then I got Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman. This obviously is the writer of Practical Magic, which is also from the movie, and I love everything with like witches, so I decided to just buy it. I don't know where this stands in the series, but I saw it and I bought it. So what is it? Easy, I should have read the back. A prequel to the beloved novel Practical Magic. There you go. It begins with a baby abandoned in a snowy English field in the 1600s. Gentle Hannah Owens takes the baby in, and as the child grows, Hannah teaches little Maria about the unnamed arts. I'm sure it'll be good. Then I got The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell. I read... What's it called? Okay, I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, I read one of her books last year. Oh no! Where is it? The Family Upstairs, that's it. Yes, The Family Upstairs. I read that last year, and actually, I thought it was good throughout. And then the end floored me. I was just like, oh. And I remember like doing a review about it and doing that exact face. So I saw this book, and I thought, I don't know if it's gonna be good or not, but I thought I'd buy it. Yeah. And the last one is actually The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. I keep hearing really, really good things about it. I think it was on Nikki from Red Dot Reads that she mentioned this. I think, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I have to cut this, but we'll see. But I've heard really, really good things about this, so when I saw it, I like just grabbed it from the shelf, because yeah, it just sounds good. And I think this is historical fiction. Yes, in the 1930s apparently. So there you go. Oh my goodness. So these are all the books that I have bought. So I think it's about 15. It's not that bad, really. Could have easily bought 15 in just one town if I'd been really committed. I'm probably not going to read any of them this summer, mostly because we're about to fly to Canada and I'm going to be there for a while. So I'm not bringing books with me, or I'm bringing one book. Yes, I'm bringing one book with me. So everything else I'm going to read is going to be from that I pick up in Canada, basically. But yes, I'm very happy with this. I'm pleased. I think these are good books. And yeah, I'm excited to read them at some point. We'll see. And then I thought that here I would add some footage from our time, just walking around Sedbergh a little bit. actually like 4 or 5 miles from the motorway. So it's actually the most accessible of the UK's book towns, although I haven't checked Northern Ireland if they have one. I checked Ireland and they have one. It's about almost an hour and a half, 2 hours from Dublin. So I think this one is the most like accessible, but I think it's the smallest one. It didn't feel like that busy or that happening. A lot of stuff was closed, maybe because it's on Monday. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad that I found out about it. And I really encourage people to go and visit it, and encourage the small shops, and you can pop in. They have a charity shop as well that has books, and yeah, you can just check it out. It's fun, and it's like one book town checked off your list. All right, I think that's it for me and my book town book haul video. Thank you so much for watching, and hey, see you back. Bye.